So what does being a full-time crochet artist even entail? What do I do? Just crochet all day? No. I usually stick to making crochet tutorials on my YouTube channel, but I thought I would challenge myself and make a week in my life vlog. Just totally out of my comfort zone, but ended up being really fun. Before we start our week together, I thought it'd be really great to introduce myself and talk about my background and how I got to the point of being a full-time crochet artist. My mom learned how to crochet in the 70s, and that taught me like basic crochet stitches when I was about 11 or 12. Ever since then, I've been crocheting on and off, mostly just for myself. After high school, I attended the Maine College of Art, where I studied oil painting, ceramics, stone sculpture, and mixed media art. I earned my BFA, and ever since then, my husband and I kind of moved around, had fun, 20-year-old stuff. Then we decided to settle down. I had a daughter, and after my daughter was born, I decided to stay home to raise her. When she was a little baby, she slept all the time, so I had tons of free time. I couldn't use oil paint around her because it's not something kids should get into. So I started to crochet more seriously. Once I was confident enough, I started attending craft shows and making friends with other artists. I made a social media page and started making videos every single day. The hardest thing for me to do on my road to becoming a full-time crochet artist was sitting down and actually writing my first pattern. Reading patterns and diagrams are one thing. Writing it like from your head is totally another thing. So I started with what I knew best first. I'm a sucker for wearables and shawls. I've probably made hundreds of shawls throughout my crochet life, so I thought that'd be a great place to start. I was so proud of myself when I made my first pattern, and that just like sparked something in me to keep going because it was so much fun and rewarding to have a finished product. I mostly focus on designing plushies, and I still design wearables all the time for myself and for my family when I make them gifts. And I write the patterns down. I just don't always get around to publishing them because the steps from writing a pattern, as you'll see in my video, to getting a finished PDF, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of work and hours in between. So a lot of times I set my wearable designs to the side and just focus on plushies. Sadly, I do not just crochet all day. There's a lot of businessy stuff I have to do as well. I design my own crochet patterns, and I take that simple written pattern and I turn it into usually a 20 to 40 page PDF file that has very clear written instructions, step-by-step photos, a help section, sometimes video tutorials included. I probably make on average 10 objects per pattern just to show a variation. Also helps me to turn the pattern into the simplest, straightforward version that it can be. So now I have hundreds of crochet objects that I can also sell. I sell those finished products on my website and in person at markets. And I also sell crochet supplies on my website. A lot of those are the ones that I actually use. I'll order extra, and then the extras I have I'll put on my website for other people. I also sell hand-painted eyes that I obviously paint myself. I don't sell them that often because they take me a really long time to make, but I do restock my website at least once or twice a month with them. Another huge part of my business, which is kind of a difficult part for me because I'm very introverted, is posting on social media, making YouTube videos, putting myself out there all the time and trying to make connections with people. And I am super excited to share my life with you guys and be a little more open and not so self-conscious and like stage frighty because it's really fun. I'm filming this at the end of the week and I already filmed everything, so I know what's gonna happen. Spoiler alert. But I was really surprised that vlogging and sharing my life with people was actually fun, and I wasn't dreading it every day, even if I was a little awkward at first because it's hard to get used to. Something fun that we're gonna do together this week is work on a brand new design, take it from a sketch on the iPad to a cute little finished plushie. So they're not finished, but we're gonna design it together. We're going to finish up another pattern together that's already in the pattern tester phase. I get a cool new crochet-esque tool delivered. I'll share some tips about Etsy, what I've learned along the way, video making. We're going to post on social media. We're going to do everything that my business entails together. So let's spend the week together and hopefully we'll become friends along the way. One of the best pieces of advice I can offer for if you wanted to run your own business and be accountable for yourself is to set a schedule and stick to it. Instead of working the traditional Monday through Friday, I work Tuesday through Saturday, usually from 5:30 or 6 a.m. until 4:30 in the evening. On Sundays and Mondays, I do fun stuff with my family. We went to a garden store and planted our garden for the spring. We always go swimming on Mondays, and we just have fun as a family before my work week begins on Tuesday. First place I always start is cleaning up and getting organized so that I have a clear mind to go forward for the rest of the week and know what I want to accomplish. Because I haven't been on Etsy or checked my phone or anything for the last 2 days, I usually have a million emails, messages, and orders. Good morning. Most of the messages I get are people having issues downloading from Etsy because it's always hard to download from them. One person even said they sell the cats at their local coffee shop and they just ordered the kitten and puppy pattern and now they're going to start selling kittens and puppies at the coffee shop too, so that's really nice. I actually had a hand-painted eye restock on my website this weekend, so we have a lot of those orders to pack. All printed, and I worked on making a new list for today. I have to take all the sitting down plushies outside and get the final photos, and then to edit them I also have to put like crochet pattern 4-in-1, you know, made by me. And this is all of the stuff we have to package up. I think I might have 2 or 3 left in my shop, but all of these sold. Here's what they look like with the stickers on, so you know what size you got. And then I number each one because I don't do these made to order. Like, this is the picture of what's on the website, this is what you're getting. So I number them all so I don't mix them up. A habit I've been trying to work on is posting what I'm doing to social media to show everyone, because I tend to just do everything on my own. I recognize this name. They're probably my friend on Patreon. So I have this box of eyes that have like little tiny defects. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with them. I don't know, just like a little air bubble. So if I recognize your name from one of the orders, or if you even just leave me a note on your order, like give me some freebie eyes, I'll try to give you some freebie eyes if I have them. And I just hope they can use them because I can't use all of the reject eyes and I mess up all the time. So I hope you like them. These 2 packages are missing and I shipped them on the 28th. I'm guessing since they were small sticker orders, maybe they're between the mailman's seats or stuck in the sorting machine. I don't know. And I got new shipping labels so I can see if the old ones ever get there, but I added extra stickers hopefully to make up for it, and I hope they get the first package too and they'll have double. Just leave them in this little tote on my front door and hopefully she'll pick them up. Fingers crossed. I know it's not technically crochet, but I got a knitting machine. Obviously, I've seen this on social media like everyone else in the world, and I wanted to try it to use up some of my basement yarn. Stuff like Red Heart, I don't use anymore. I'm not sure if you can use chunky yarn with the knitting machine, but I thought this might be pretty. I seriously need to get rid of some of my yarn stash, and I thought this would be an easy way to do it. I could make hats and headbands and then sell them for pretty cheap because supposedly it doesn't take too long to make it. There are tons of these on Amazon and I wasn't even sure which one to get, but I watched a few YouTube videos and most people use, I think it's 42 or 48 hooks. That's what I got. Then this one included an attachment where you hook up a drill and then it makes hats like super quickly. I'm not going to try it at first because I don't even know how to use it yet, but that'd be pretty cool. You want to check it out? You want a little doggy hat? Yeah? Everyone's coming to check it out now. I guess they all heard they're getting new sweaters. I know I'm going to mess the first one up, so I'm going to use this super bright color. I'm not the biggest fan, but maybe it'll turn out pretty. My first mistake was trying to do it on the carpet. Learned that pretty quickly. That's why it came with little suction cups. It's staying put here. The only thing I'm not sure about is my tension. Like, is my tension supposed to be super tight? Okay, I got the drill. My hand started to hurt. Hopefully this hat will fit my daughter because she'll really like the rainbow. From what I read online, 120 is supposed to be the size of an adult hat. Okay, I might have made it too long. Just keeps going. On the third hat, this one, I kind of got my tension right because long hat over here, when I was so confident, oh, I'll just use the rest of the ball of yarn. way too long and way too tight. My tension should not be that tight. Yeah, it won't even fit my 3-year-old daughter. So hopefully I can unravel it and try again. Almost noon, so I should definitely get to my real work and stop messing around with the knitting machine. This is how I take all the photos for my pattern. I try not to make it too bright anymore. Sometimes I accidentally do. And then I use just a piece of canvas material as a neutral background. And I take my how-to and step-by-step photos there. So I just realized I can't film any of that because I'm going to be using my camera. So I'll update you guys once I get it done. I looked up all of the color names that I couldn't remember for each variation that I made. I got some pictures of the face. Tried something different for this pattern to make it clearer because it's a little hard to add the legs and I wanted to make sure it was super clear. I went on Procreate on my iPad and like drew on the pictures to kind of help people even more. Stitch counts are missing, like little stuff I have to go through again. The row numbers are missing here. But all of the hard work is done. I finished the tail part. I think I will try to take these guys outside and get some final photos of them. The only tip I have for Instagram, because honestly I'm not the best at it, but I always try to make sure I use really good lighting. Sometimes I make it a little too bright, but there's always free lighting outside. The sun does a great job. I love this thing. I think it's a laundry hamper. And I use it to carry around my plushies and throw yarn in. It's awesome. I have a few options for photos. Like on a log might be cute. And here's a few different logs. They look all mossy and like fairy logs and stuff. This one might work well because I could get like the tree behind it to have some contrast. I made it just in time. It just started pouring. Ah! These might be my best pictures yet for my cutest plushies. Yeah, but hopefully I have the main listing picture in here and all of the other ones that I need. That looks great. I love it. I'm gonna work on fixing up these images, just making sure everything looks great. If I'm in the reflection of the eyes making a silly face, I'll blur myself out. So let's edit some of these images, make the pattern tester call images, and then hopefully post on a Patreon and we'll be done for the day. I only have an hour left. 4:30 and we have to go to the grocery store so we have something to eat. I pretty much finished editing all the images and I just wrote a quick post to share them with my Patreon members. I'm not gonna have time to do a whole post for the pattern tester call today just because it takes a really long time to put that all together. So I'll do it first thing tomorrow morning. Here's the pattern tester call image. I tried that new font I've been using that I use on my business cards now and I think it looks really nice. Here are the main listing photos. I have to make 3. The first one is for my website because my website doesn't crop itself. Etsy crops like 50 different ways, so I have to do the text in the middle so it doesn't get cropped. And then this one will be on the pattern itself, the pattern PDF. I love Wednesdays because there's not as much pressure as the first day of the week where you have to catch up on all the stuff you missed. Hey look, it's raining again. I just posted my pattern tester call on my Patreon. I have to post the pattern tester call on my Instagram. And I want to try to put together like a little video or something because I haven't done a short video in like maybe a week, and videos always do better than like picture posts on Instagram, at least for me. I don't know for other people. And if I do a little video, I can also post it to my YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and everywhere else. So I think I might do a really quick and like a little bit lazy video. Basically, you just take a ball of yarn, put it in front of the camera, and then do a little shot of it going up to the camera, blurring out, and then you get a shot starting up close on your plushie and zooming out, and it makes like a good transition, and it's just really easy. Go back in and edit some text into the beginning of the video over the ball of yarn and have it say like, do you want to see my new pattern? I used to be really good at it because I would post a video every single day back when I just did like TikTok and sold plushies. And when you do get in the hang of it, it's really easy to just do it every day. But like once you take a break and kind of stop and go down to like posting one video a week or even one a month, like I have been, it becomes harder because like you overthink things. So yeah, I could just do a really simple yarn plushie video and have it be like 15 seconds. Those usually do good. Let me post the pattern tester call to Instagram, and then we'll go outside and figure out some type of video. I brought a couple guys outside to get a few more shots because I only had one. And here's what I was talking about with just a ball of yarn and a crochet hook. I'll go edit it and then I'll show you how it comes out. Sorry I have to mute all of my short videos and everything. I'm not sure if I'll get a copyright strike for them, but it's like a spooky Twilight-esque song that is very foresty. When I'm at the end stages of publishing a pattern PDF like I am with this raccoon and red panda one, a lot of my time is just spent at the computer editing the document, trying to find little mistakes I made and testing it a million times. Finally get to cross stuff off. I kind of forgot about my list. I always make them and then just forget about them. I finished a lot of stuff though. I'm proud of myself. Something I like to do that really helps me because I'm tired of staring at the screen all the time. I print it out, and my patterns always have tons of pages, so I just do like 4 or 6 pages per sheet. And then I'll go through with the highlighter and read every single thing and try to catch all of my little mistakes because there's always some. It's like a 30-page document, so I rearranged it a little bit. I show the pattern variations and all the colors I used. I showed these laying down ones because I use different colors and like to give you more color options. I talked about how you can mix and match them. Table of contents, I still have to add the page numbers because I might still move things around at this point. I just finished crocheting this orange fox in a sitting position, and I filmed a crochet with me little video along the way. I love to film this type of crochet with me video, but it does take a lot of time and effort when you're just trying to crochet. So I usually put on a movie and then stop to record a few stitches every 15 or 20 minutes. I totally just want to veg out for the rest of the day, so I have this big old messy pile of stuff I haven't even touched since I moved. It's all different charms and cute little things to make stitch markers. I organized all of my findings and little notions, and then I kind of laid out what I want to make for my shop. Bread, rubber duckies, and eggy toast. Never seen a bug like this. It's kind of the stuff of nightmares. I got my cat a cat door for the basement so he can lurk around down there, and it looks just like a Hobbit door. Too cute. I woke up super early today to do some crocheting just for myself. One of my bad habits as a crochet artist is always moving on to the next new thing and never revisiting my old patterns. I try to make it a point now to go back and make stuff from my old patterns, and I love these birdies because I think there's like 20 different birds you can make. And I tried some new things, like with the peacock. I tried a different color palette and it's really pretty. I think every time I wake up super early and I can't go back to sleep, I'll try to crochet a few birdies until I have all 20 made. Okay, so let's turn all of these loose charms into stitch markers. I'll show you how to make one really quickly and then I'll make the rest. Open up the jump ring. Add the clasp, and which one should we do? These are so cute. I'll do these. I am not sure if I'm going to have an issue selling these on Etsy because obviously it's not Hello Kitty, but it is a white cat. But I'll probably put them on my site. I don't think Hello Kitty goes on my site and looks at stuff. Something you do want to be aware of is the front and the back. So I want the charm to face the front. I'll show you in a moment. Okay, now I'm going to bend it back. Try to get it to line up and look like new. And there we go, a stitch marker. It's super easy. It just takes a lot of time because I'm making multiples so they actually stay stocked in my shop. I kind of think packaging them takes longer than making them. But maybe my idea of single stitch markers wasn't a good one because I only make $3 and it'll take me like 15 minutes to make, but oh well. We got them all laid out. Let's just do it. If you like to do other types of crafts and you want to add that into your crochet business, I think you should totally go for it and give it a try. I have always loved jewelry making, and this is basically jewelry making for crochet. My studio buddy today is Miko Cat. He really just wants to scratch my window screens because I open the window. I tried something different for the bigger ones, and I added little like additional charms, ladybugs for that one. And I like it. I like the big hooks. It's something different. Now I'm gonna make the packaging. Got my paper guillotine out, and then just some of this pretty paper. I'm gonna cut it to size. I don't really love how it looks, so I'll show you a quick solution to make anything look nicer. Around the corners, and it immediately makes it look nice. I do this for my eye packaging. I round the corners of the little cards and it makes it look a lot nicer. So now let's try to package it. I think that looks better just with rounded corners. I probably shouldn't be spending so much time on them, but I like sending people stuff in the mail, and I want it to be happy and fun when you get it. And to make the pictures a little more interesting than just having a stitch marker like that, I got out one of my crochet sweaters and just put it on this little slice of birch, and then I'll position each one like that and take a close-up picture of it for the listing. I worked with a knitting machine for a few hours, and I kind of figured out how to make headbands. Still cannot make a hat. So these are all the ones I haven't sewn together yet, and then I'll show you the successful ones. And they look super cool. I love the striped ones, and this one is my favorite so far. I'm really sad this yarn is discontinued because it was from Joann's, but I did hear someone else was buying up Big Twists, so maybe they'll make more in the future. The knitting machine is super fun, and it's definitely very gratifying to make like 5 products in an hour. It's super cool. So I like it as a nice little side project. Today went by so fast. I just finished triple checking the pattern, and I did find a few mistakes. This should be row 4. I said see photos below, but there's no photos below, so I'll change it to see photos in the back of the pattern. When I have a pattern tester call, I try and give it like 1 or 2 days and keep the comments open on my posts on Patreon and Instagram to give people a chance to apply. I felt like I was kind of rushing this one, and I feel a little bad I only let it run for a day. So hopefully the people who wanted to apply got a chance to. And first I start on my Patreon. I go all the way down the list of the comments to the first comments, and I start there for whoever applied first. And then I just work my way up, and I look at everyone's Instagrams. I feel bad for being like, give me your Instagram name. It's not because I'm going to go look at your followers. It's so I can see what kind of work you do, see what kind of person you are, and also to add you to the Instagram group chat that I make, where all the testers can talk, share photos of their work along the way, and usually there's a lot of like active people in there, and I check it a few times a day too. So like people will find like little mistakes and tell me, and I can clarify by sending more pictures to help or correct it for when I really mess up, you know. So I go through my Instagram comments and I look at people's profiles there too. But usually a lot of people on my Patreon want to test a pattern, and I'm gonna give them a chance to be part of the experience because they're my friends and I know them and I'm familiar with them all. Okay, so I went through everyone and I saved 10 spots for my higher tiers of the Patreon, and everyone who wanted a spot got one, I'm pretty sure. And then I saved 5 spots for the Crafty Cat Collective. Now I just have to write a quick email and send the pattern. We're working on clearing a little bit of our land, just of like prickly bushes and stuff. And we're making a garden, which my dog should not be in, but she's having too much fun with life. Happy Friday. Technically it's my Thursday. We're actually gonna have a crocheting day today, and it's gonna be really fun because we're gonna work on my brand new pattern no one has seen before. I'll show you guys. At this point, I'm totally just at the sketching, figuring out how to even make it phase. Once I figure out how to actually make the form of the plushie, then I'll start to tweak little details and give it some personality and make it really cute. but I'll show you my ideas so far and kind of explain a little bit about it. Last time when I went on a really big road trip was actually when we were thinking about buying this home, and I drove for like 24 hours straight to come up here to see it, and I listened to an audiobook called When the Moon Hatched. The author created a really awesome fantasy world with different types of dragons, and my favorite was a moon plume. This plushie is kind of what I imagined a little baby to be. I'll show you the sketches I have so far. For the body shape, I'm thinking it'll be in a pouncing position, so it'll look really fun and playful. I like this bigger bushy tail, but my husband was like, what are you doing? That looks like a beaver. So I did another drawing with like a more traditional dragon tail, like that. I just did it quickly. It's not perfect or anything. And with like the little spine things on the back. And I guess that looks more like a dragon. For the ears, I want to make them like floppy lamb ears almost. And I'm not sure about the nose or the face. I kind of just drew this in to have something there. I'm totally not sure what it's actually going to be. But this is the idea. It'll be the body will be all one piece, the head will be one piece, and then the tail will be another. I have an idea of how to make the wings crocheted on. Here's one last sketch I just did this morning because I was thinking about it and I really want to try to make it because it'll be fun and challenging. And this kind of shows you more of like the pouncing body shape. I'm not great at drawing, but hopefully you get the idea. And for the tail, you can see I kind of combined my idea for the tail of a rounder tail with my husband's idea of like a traditional dragon tail. Yeah, I really like the body shape. I think it's going to be fun and exciting. And you can kind of see the folded ears on this one better. And I even designed, I can't see. I tried to add a little mouth and I kind of really like how that mouth looks. Just not sure how it's going to translate when it's actually a plushie. And for this one, I think the horns would be sewn on separately and maybe made in a velvet type of yarn, something a little lighter than burnout blanket. My idea is to combine these two shapes, kind of, and implement some of the things I learned while making the sitting down plushie to make it a pouncing plushie. The body, I'll start the same as this with the two paws, connect them, make the elbows go down to the waist, and then kind of flare out to make the back side. I want to make the back side a little larger. Feet are pretty thick. I think it would look cute if it had little dainty paws that flared out a lot more. So these I think I started with 7 and then I did increase to 14. I'm thinking maybe if I start with like 5 or even 6 and then flare out to make them like little paws in the front. And then for the back, weird, but I think you'll get it. How I connected these, remember I told you one row I went around the back, and then the next I went around the front. I'm thinking like that. Obviously shorter, not as long as these are, but you can kind of see. So like that. I'll show you the sketch again. So see with this guy, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. The front will be the same, but when I get to this point, we're going to do the back legs kind of like I added the front legs on the sitting plushie. I think it'll work. It's just going to take a lot of tinkering to get it right. And I'll show you the wings. I did a sample of the wing. I'm not 100% sure that's what I'm going to do for the wing yet, but it's an idea. That's a start. Here's one wing that I made with my idea. Kind of texture is made by doing front post and back post double crochets. Kind of see it's almost, if you've ever done like a waffle stitch or cable knit crochet, it's kind of like that. I love the designer Bonnie Bay Crochet, and she does amazing like cable knit crochet, and I've made a few of her projects and she really taught me about like designing with front post and back post crochet to create a pattern. So I applied some of what I learned from making her wearables and following her patterns to create like this wing shape using kind of like a cable knit crochet design. So when we reach the point where we want to add the wings, we'll kind of sandwich it right there and just crochet along. So then that'll attach the wings without us having to sew them on. This is some of the new yarn that I got from Joann's the other day. I'm going to use it for this version 1. it's probably going to come out bad. It's not going to be anything like the finished product, probably. But I do have like a clear vision in my mind, so maybe, I don't know. We'll see how much I mess it up. But it could be like an ocean dragon, I thought. I'm guessing I will use 18mm eyes because that's what I used for the other animals I've made in this style. And I kind of want to keep it the same size. These are very makeable plushies. They're not tiny. You can get details, but it takes you maybe 1 or 2 hours to make. You could watch a movie and make one of these. It's not going to be like a 3-day affair or something like that. Maybe in the future I'll try to design another one that's larger because I really wanted to use 25mm eyes because the colored pupil eyes I have, the pink, blue, purple, whatever, colored pupil eyes, I only have in sizes 25mm. I don't have an 18mm. That's kind of a bummer because I love making those eyes and they would look so cool on a dragon. There were lots of other dragons in the book that inspired me too, so we could start with this moon plume dragon, and then I could try to make some other dragons from the books and make them larger with 25mm eyes. But this is a great starting point. It's been my goal to design a dragon for years now. It's very intimidating because I've never made a dragon. I usually stick to simple designs because that's what I like to do. So a dragon has a lot of details and I want to make kind of a different shape dragon so it stands out among the other designs. So it's just going to be really challenging, and that's why I'm excited about it. It's going to be really fun. At first, I was too scared to even start. But once I got the idea and I started to get the sketch, and now I have a slight understanding of how I'm going to make it, I feel a lot more confident about it. So that's why I thought we could just chill out today. Maybe I should finish the audiobook when I make this. But I'm kind of scared too. The main character started to get a little negative and it was like frustrating me. It was like, oh my god, you guys love each other, just cut it out. But I get books have to do that because it's like drama and everything. Yeah, I'll finish it before the pattern comes out, I promise. Let's hang out and fail horribly at making a dragon for the first time together. We're about to head out to do all of our errands, so I wanted to show you guys really quickly how far I got. I made the little arms smaller and I made the elbows a little more curved. And I like the shape. I don't know how I feel about the wings. It looks a little messy. I don't know if my tension wasn't tight enough or maybe I should rethink how I'm even going to design the wings. To flare out for the hips and make the bottom, so maybe once that gets on and the head, we'll see how it looks. But yeah. Hey, it's our last day together. It is officially my Friday. This morning we're gonna pack a bunch of orders I got on a weird whim. I was looking at my analytics for YouTube and I think they were showing my video to a lot more people than they normally do on that one day for some reason, and that's why I got extra orders. The plan is to pack all the orders and then spend the rest of the day working on my dragon guy. I had a lot of fun getting this far yesterday and I want to keep going, so I actually have a plushie to show for it. Something valuable that I've learned that I wanted to share is about Etsy. So everyone knows, or everyone should know, Etsy has like crazy high fees. So I know a lot of small businesses don't even bother to sell on Etsy. They just have their own website, which I get because I try to direct people to my website too because I don't have to pay close to 20% sometimes. Etsy is a known marketplace, and I feel like that is extremely valuable and drives a lot of my business and sales is finding new people through Etsy. I don't think you should let the high fees scare you away because then you're missing out on so many people's business and attention. Don't worry about being the cheapest to get a sale. Just make sure you're getting paid what you want for the amount of work you put into it. Like how if I'm reselling a pair of eyes, I'm literally just shipping it to you, repackaging it and shipping it to you. I'm fine with making a few dollars from that. That takes a few minutes of my time. But I'm not going to go and sell my hand painted eyes for $2 because they took me like hours to make, you know? So just make sure you're comfortable with what you're being compensated. It's going to take a lot from you, especially if you're selling like a higher priced item like a plushie. See, I had to make this like $5 more expensive than it is on my website just to try and break even. But I do have a few more tips for Etsy to help you show up. Etsy loves it when your stuff is on sale. It pushes it out to way more people. So my stuff is always on sale. All my patterns are always 10% off on Etsy. I usually do my products like 25% off. I feel bad if people think that's disingenuous, and it's not. I'm not doing it to try and trick people or anything like that. Etsy, like, literally I can see the second I put my stuff on sale and it prompts you to put it on sale for 25%, it shows so many more people. So I just make it more expensive, do 25% off, and then that's the price I actually want to sell it for. Sorry. I know that's not like the best thing to do and people might not like that, but there's so much competition on Etsy. There's so many people selling so many things, especially people who are not small businesses, people who are large manufacturers. Earlier in my career, I did not realize you are not allowed to direct people to your website from Etsy. So I used to have it say my website name, and I even had it saying like everything's cheaper on my website, go over there. But you really should not do that because you can get your shop shut down. When I actually read that, I was like, oh my gosh, and I panicked and I made a new banner without my website. I took out any mention of the website or anything. So it sucks some people do order from Etsy and don't know it's cheaper on my website, but I'm not allowed to tell you guys on Etsy. I can say it on social media all I want. Just deal with the fees, make stuff more expensive, because you're going to get a lot of exposure from Etsy showing people stuff. Got everyone's orders packed and I'm about to go put them on my front step. The only issue is it's pouring outside. My husband just told me it's the 8th day straight it's been raining. So I'll make sure the little tote is under my porch and it doesn't get wet. So working on the dragon, and this is where I'm at right now. I made the little increase for the bottom. The wings are on, and then I just made 2 back feet, and we're gonna try to see if it will work. It does look a little weird, not gonna lie. I am not sure. Maybe they should be under it a little. It's gonna take some trial and error. I probably should have made the head first to kind of see what the head will look like when it's on. I'm just gonna roll with it and see if I can attach the back feet this way and see if they'll even look decent, or if it looks horrible, I have to rethink my whole strategy. I did come up with an alternative version of the wings that I could try after I finish this one, and it'll just be single crocheting, zigzagging back and forth, and that might work. I'm not sure. I'm a little hesitant to say it, but I think I might have got the body down. It worked, putting on the feet like that, and you can see he's pouncing with his little butt up in the air. That was all no sew, the whole body. Putting the back feet on worked really well that way. Actually, extremely surprised it worked on the first time around. I didn't have to futz any of the stitch counts or anything like that. It all worked out. I didn't close it because I got back down to 8, which is the number I like, and I thought, why don't I just keep going with the tail? No sew too. The only sewing will be on the head. I am a little concerned that this is too long, and I was thinking about shortening this section right here. Then I thought maybe I shouldn't, because when I go to make the head and sew the head on, this might be just the right amount for the base of the head. Still not 100% sold on the wings, but I think the pouncing body looks really great. I'm astounded. Usually it takes me at least 4 tries to get something, but maybe because I learned so much from making those two, this one is a combination of both, so it was a little easier. I'm just gonna keep going, adding the tail, and then I'll make a head, add the head, so this version 1 is finished. And I want to try and figure out some type of color changes to make it more interesting and to do different themes for the dragons. And I was even thinking, I've never added toes to a plushie. What if I try to add toes, and do some color changes around here. That way the base of the dragon could be blue, the toes could be white, the pad of the paw could be another color, and just give like more opportunity for customization of each one. I might be able to use 25mm eyes. They look a little big for my style. Tried to make the shaping where it would be flatter where the eyes are so it looks up. Added a little tail, and this was no-sew. I just like kept going as I was making the bottom. The head might be a little large for the body, but once I start decreasing, it might look a little smaller. We'll see. I'll keep going, but I'm so happy. I wanted to show you guys. It's looking really cute so far. This might be the fastest I've ever made a pattern. I can't believe I was scared to even start. I'm not too happy with like this area because if I don't push it flat, it kind of like bulges out and that doesn't look great. So for this one, it's fine. I got the shape and like the size down, but I do have to work on this area some more. Maybe I could try to move the eyes like one stitch closer together and that might help, or change around the increases around here, something to make that area a little flatter. I didn't sew it on yet. I just kind of like stuck it on there with a crochet hook. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. The ears, I'm planning to have them crochet on, but right now when I'm just figuring out what it's going to look like, I feel like I should sew them on so that way I can experiment with different sizes and see how they look with the horns and the head together. And then once I get the size I want down for the next head, I'll work on fixing this area and I'll work on crocheting them on as I go. Here's some of the options I found in my stash, but I'm starting to rethink my decision. I feel like the pattern should be made in all the same yarn weight. I'm going to see if I can just use burlap blanket and make it work, because this is a really soft, like newer one, not the old Brillo pad style of burlap blanket. Finished the ears and the horns, and now I'll sew him on and I'll sew his head on too and see how he looks. Something I didn't add for this version just because it was my first one. I was seeing if it would work, but I could do for the next version bobble stitches to make the little spines and down the tail too. It's 4:15, so I have 15 minutes to clean up before my week as a full-time crochet artist is over. I'll show you is just version 1, and like I was saying earlier, the design is probably going to change a lot before it's officially my first dragon design, and it'll probably be a week or two before I post this vlog because I have to edit it and it's gonna take me forever, and I want a chance to get the dragon pattern a little more finished with like more color variations and themes, so I can show my Patreon members before I post it because they always get to see everything first. Sorry for the bad lighting, all the lights are behind him, but here is version 1. Definitely the pouncing body is done, but I still think the head and face needs a little more work. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I am 100% happy that we can use 25mm eyes to make it, because that just opens up so many possibilities of different eyes and themes I can make the dragons. I added a little spines to his tail. I just can't wait to make another one because now that I understand how I want to make it, there are so many possibilities for color changes. And the second one, I'll try to add little toes and color changes in the wings, and I'll try that second wing design. I'm just really excited for what's to come. Since he's all one color, it kind of just blends in with himself. I think once I get some color changes on him and give him some contrast, he'll look really cute. So when you're watching this, I'll probably have this dragon to a more finished point, and if you want to see it, go check out my Patreon. Or if you're watching this in the far future, you might even be able to get the pattern and make one of your own. Now I want to take a second to thank all of my Patreon members, because without you guys, none of this would be possible. Really love the little community that we've built and how nice and supportive everyone is. I just created more Patreon tiers with different benefits, and I finally made the positive post. And I thought a lot of the people who supported me were crochet artists, but I've gotten emails asking for a positive post option without the eyes, just with stickers and like a nice note and everything for people who don't really like to crochet. So I'll definitely get working on that soon, and it'll be a lot cheaper than the positive post because I won't have to pay for shipping. I could just use stamps to ship just stickers. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me, and hopefully the next vlog will be more exciting. Maybe I'll plan a trip to that llama farm and get some llama yarn. I hope you all had a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!